Welcome guys, back again on the same topic, data security. Remember we looked at ways to protect data. We looked at physical ways and we looked at software restrictions, right? So what we want to look at now is how data can be misused, or ways in which information can be misused. So let us look at this now. It says computer fraud is using a computer system to carry out fraudulent activities. So if you are using your computer system to carry out any activities such as stealing, committing crimes, manipulating data, changing data, anything that is going to consider as fraudulent activities, then we consider that to be computer fraud once you are using a computer system, right? Another one is piracy. This is a common one among us. So piracy is any act of taking or using someone else's work without their knowledge or permission. A good example of piracy is our DVD selling it on the street, movies, copyright, right? So if you take someone else's work without their knowledge or permission and use it for monetary gain, then we consider that to be piracy. Another one is electronic eavesdropping. As it says, eavesdropping is listening to a conversation that you are not a part of without the listener, without the intended person know that you are listening in their conversation. Now, electronic eavesdropping is when you are using electronic means of communication to listening. And we would have seen this in many movies where the police or the FBI would do a thing what they call wiretapping, or so where they're listening on certain conversation without the person knowing that someone else is listening. So that is some way we can misuse persons listening and gain information from all of that. Espionage is spying to gain information that can be used to further a purpose. So spying, and we have seen that in many of our James Bond movies, right? So you are spying to gain information that is going to be used on your opponent. And we see it in many advertisements. Companies competing against another. So they will send out someone to go out to look around to see what the other individual is doing and try to come back with that information to either better themselves or to see how they can go against their competitors. So that is what we mean by espionage, spying. Surveillance and invasion of privacy. As it says, surveillance. We are using devices such as our camera system, speakers, all of those video sets to set up a surveillance system that is going to look at how we gather information on individuals. And it says with this part where it says we have an invasion of privacy. So once you are on the internet or using your computer system to search or browse websites, going on different page, you are no longer in a whatever sense we will call it total privacy, because once you have access, certain companies uses their website to gather information and places are where you would click on the web page, they would send back those information, or we would put it in a context where it says the website would allow you to accept cookies. They call those text files. It would gather personal data information about you, where you live in terms of your location, places that you visit, your frequent sites and all those things. So it will store information and try to predict, most cases, things are what you would want, and they will send you back email. So in total, you would not have a total privacy setting when you access the internet. So you will go over on what we call surveillance and invasion of privacy. It's gathering information about persons who visit a particular website. So once you're on a website, you would not necessarily have a total privacy. Also, In this next one, we want to look at identity theft. Identity theft is where someone uses another person's personal details to carry out transaction in that name. So we're used to many persons losing their identity. We take someone's personal detail and say, hey, I am John Brown. And you probably take John Brown credit card or John Brown personal information to carry out those activities in that person's name. We'll consider that to be identity theft. So you cannot just take someone's information and carry out transaction in that person's name. Then we'll consider that to be identity theft. Right? So we want to look at another set in a minute.